All right, let's see here. We changed the format of the stream today. We've gone from landscape to portrait, so I want to make sure that the stream looks correct on mobile, and it does, so that's awesome. Um, One of the issues that I was looking at was that our streams looked a little funny when we try to crop for shorts content, and that's what's driving the majority of the views is our shorts content. So I wanted to optimize our stream for short content. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do our first step, which is to share our live stream across all our different socials. So let's go ahead and do that. Uh, Oh, oh. For some reason, this is auto set up to start playing videos. I was scrolling through Facebook and it's auto playing videos on my stream and it was like super loud. That was funny. Anyhow, okay, so let's go ahead and let's copy our stream link. Yo, what's up, shenanigans? What's up, bruh? What's up, cuz? Alright, so let's go ahead and post that on our Facebook. And we'll wait for that to post. And let's post this on X. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Monday, huh? Alright, so we got posted on X. Let's go to our Discord. Let's post that in our stream announcement channel on Discord. Okay. Okay. Publish that. Awesome. Confirm. Alright, we'll drop this in here as well. Okay, awesome. So now we've posted up on everywhere. And let's see here. Stream still looks good. Okay. I'm gonna throw on something for me to listen to. And alright. So where did we leave off here? Okay. Alright, so we were touching up on the Chucks last time. The Chuck Taylor shoes, that's what we were working on. And one of the things I believe I commented on right before it ended the last stream was how this leg orientation is really not that great. As you can see, it's like sticking out. So we'll see, and we try to turn this, but we got everything in a weird position. So let's see here. So I think what we need to do here is let's finish the shoe. If we can focus on that for today, and we can get this out of the way, and I think that'll be good. Hopefully we can do more than just a shoe, but yeah, all right, what do we got here? What are our pain points here with the shoe? It's not terrible right off the jump. One thing is this transition right here. Let me just pull up some Chuck Taylors and take a quick look at that transition. So it does start right in the seam, basically where we have it here, so it does not overlap. So we got that much. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can dial this right in. All right. We're just gonna make some tweaks to the sneaker here and there. So we definitely need to make sure we're following these contours. So we'd, all right. All right. Let's take a look at some of this here. Not bad. Okay. So what I'm thinking here, let's see if we can apply this solidify modifier here, and let's see if we can, let's get in here and see what we can do by adding it's not terrible. Alright, what can we do about this tongue here? Can we apply this solidify? Okay. And what I want to do is we do need Alright, let's see if there is a way that we can take all of that and bring it in to create that basically piece of fabric that's going to allow you to pull the lace through. Try to make some edits here, and then we'll see where we end up here in a second. Let's see if we can grab this side. Okay, and we're gonna do like the same thing where we kind of go in a bit like that. And then now that we have the components, we can kind of use the grab tool and we can make some adjustments. I think we're definitely going to do a little bit of sculpting on top of this just to kind of not get caught up on trying to hard model this, especially when we end up just like bullying and attaching everything together. Sometimes I personally like it better, so that's what I kind of do because it's what comes natural to me. All right, I wanted just to check on. Yeah, that stream looks much better now, especially for the shorts. All right, so let's see. Can we come in here and lightly, lightly smooth this out? All right, let's see if we can get in here and do a little bit of manipulation here. This one little corner is, it is driving me actually nuts. All right, so we'll kind of just blend that corner out a little bit. It's all right. Kind of soften that too much. I just want to get rid of that hard edge that kind of jumps out at you. Okay. All right, I want to take a look at our reference image again real quick. All right, so there is some stitching. There's some holes on the side. There's some details on the sole. There's quite a bit if we want to make this really realistic. Um, I'm not sure how crazy we should go because The original reference I don't believe was very detailed, but but I think we should still do some things. So what I'm gonna do here before going a little bit into like sculpting this, one thing I wanted to do, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to add the little drain holes. If you know what I'm saying, there's these little drain holes. That was surprisingly that even worked. Mm, Alright, so what I need to do is we'll just use this sphere, and what I need to do is, oh shit, I thought I hit sphere. Okay, sphere. I just want to lock in the size. Like no bigger than that, I'm thinking. Probably even like there. Okay, and now the reason why I brought this up, set origin to 3D cursor, and then let's do geometry or to origin to origin. So there we go. So now when we add in our torus, we can actually see it. Okay, let's scale up our size. So our major radius, we want to scale it up like so. Our minor radius, I think we want to go, I think that looks pretty good. So we're at, I know the scale on this is all messed up right now. Okay. I think that should look good. Okay. And I believe I'm gonna check some reference pictures, but those drain holes are on both sides. Who is Harry S? I know who Harry Manback is, man. I know who this is. Yo, I love how you're Harry Manback on YouTube, but you haven't been rocking that in a while, huh? What's up, man? How you doing? I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully you had a okay start to your week. Okay, so these holes are like way further apart. Clearly I was not a Chuck kid. I mean, I had a pair, like a hand-me-down pair once. How I got it, don't ask me. I don't even remember. But these are more spaced out. So, uh, AJ, have you watched? I know you're into literature and whatnot, so I figured I would ask, even though did you watch the new House of Dragon? I started to watch it right before the stream, and I'll kind of go back to watching that after my stream. But yeah, I guess the question is, did you watch the new House of Dragons? Hopefully everything is going good with you, AJ. I know that you said you were waiting on something from the doctors. Hopefully that fared well for you. Let me know about what you think about this new stream format. One of the things I've noticed is all my shorts are like only looking at the bottom right hand corner of the Blender screen, so it didn't look that interesting. So I figured I would change the formatting and put the sculpting dead center in the middle of the screen. At least that now, instead of looking at the bottom right hand corner, you can actually see something somewhat interesting, I guess. Alright, so there is like some detail here. I'm not sure how crazy I'm gonna get. I'm looking at the sole here, and there's a couple things. There's like a toe cap, and it's got like a texture on it. I don't think I'm gonna go that far. However, I'm not against adding some detail. Just I don't want to go too crazy. So what we can do is we can go in here and we can create a little toe cap, which doesn't go totally overboard. Let's see here. Let's see if we can add in like and then we still have a A little tool on here right now so we can kind of get everything in the right spot. And then we'll give some thickness to this. And yeah, that'll give us like a little toe cap. We're probably, like I said, not going to put that textured pattern on there, but it gives us something. Um, let's see here. We should have a retopo, and let's try 20. There we go. That'll help bring this up to the top surface here. Let's see if we can bring up this value even more. Can we go 50? 100? 10? Mesh? Yeah, we got an issue with our files scaled way too much, and we'll deal with that later. Right now, it's not a priority. We'll fix it momentarily. Maybe later today we'll fix the scale. But in order to do so, we're gonna have to apply scales and rotations and shrink it down and match it to a standard. I don't really want to do that right now. Okay, so kind of got this edge going across here, and I don't want to go right to the edge. I want to go a little bit lower. The bottom, let's take a look here. Yeah, the bottom, it goes right to the bottom, but it gives a little bit of, let me see here. So this toe cap should technically blend into this sole. So let's all right. I'm trying to give this a little bit more. When I add this modifier in here, it makes it super smooth. See how you can not see it anymore? Yeah, so it makes it super smooth. So I try to come in here and add these little edge loops that'll keep the corners sharp, at least more or less sharp. Just look at the reference real quick. Yeah, this should look like that. And now let's go and solidify it. And let's see here. Let's bring back everything real quick. Alright. Okay, so there's definitely supposed to be less of a lip here. Now the question is, how do I want to do that? Do I want to scale up the shoe? I think I just want to shrink the sole a little bit so that we're closer to the shoe, right? So this, let me go into our grab mode here, and I know we kind of need to start pulling this together here, and I'm trying to think of how to do it, but I think we need to be right up on the edge with our toe cap. Maybe we can leave a little bit of space for the fabric part of the shoe, but this little toe cap needs to come right up to the tip. And that means now we need to bring this little piece in more, but that's not a big deal. We can easily fix that at this stage. But this part here was more important that we kind of address that it needs to be tweaked a little bit. Alright, there's definitely some work there to be done, but I think that is much better actually. Looks a lot more realistic, but now what I'm gonna try to do here is see if we can hit it with the shrink wrap. Uh, Hit it with the shrink wrap. And we'll apply that. And that brings us back to the surface here. And let's see if we can go like, how about 5? 10. Let me see here. Should we go a little bit higher? Maybe ever so slightly? Alright. Not sure if we have a little thing that we gotta. Yeah, we got something happen here. Let's see if we can go back a little bit. Alright, let's see if we can go back to our shrink wrap. Yeah, I think we still got something a little weird going on. I'm not sure what exactly is going on. Let's just make sure that we're actually on top of this surface. It looks like it, but we turned on some features that make it look like it's on the top surface. It may not actually be. So let's just go in here and just check all this stuff. Okay. See how it's like still going like into the, let's see if we can just detail here, yeah, to keep it on that top surface. And you can tell that it's sunken back a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Why is this not touching? Let's see here. Let's get rid of this solidify modifier. We're trying to figure out why we're not touching. Let's see here. Well, that would do it. We're not touching because I told it not to touch. Alright, so let's apply that shrink wrap modifier. Let's toggle our solidify back on here. And I think we can go down to 5. Actually, let's do this. Let's go to, can we go back to 10 here? 15. Let's go a little bit more. Let's go like um, 25. All right. Let's move this out a little bit with the subsurf. Let's throw it on prior to that. Uh, Maybe just one level, and then let's throw on another subsurf. Oh, not a shrink wrap, a subsurf. There we go. All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add. Yeah. I think we'll be able to come in here with a grab tool and make some final changes to this, and that'll be pretty good. Let's see. Um, you can almost tell that right there is where the issue is. Okay. And let's see if we can just use the grab tool now and make some minor changes here. It's not bad. It's coming together. Much better than it was when we first started. Alright, so the next thing is whether I want to apply. Let me just edit something real quick that's going to bother me if I don't get it out of the way, which is the foot actually sticking through. Alright, so let's push the foot back just ever so slightly, and I know it's sticking out the side of the shoe, but that's a whole nother issue. Okay, so let's see if, what do we got here? We still got a lot of modifiers on a lot of components here. I think I'm okay with that one. I'm probably okay with that one. Alright, let's see if we can do cursor to selected. Oh, no. Okay. 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 And I know I still gotta select those other pieces, but now the boot is selectable. Um, Okay. We now have everything selected here. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the correct adjustment here. Alright. Alright, so I think like we have to follow, yeah, like that. Because there is some anatomy here that I want to make sure that we match with the leg. Let's see if we can erase some of this, the foot that's sticking out. See if that matches good. Oh, what happened there? Clean that up a little bit. I think that looks better. Okay. Let's see. We'll just keep working on this now. As you can see, there is that's plenty of geometry there to work with. We got a little bit of fixing to do, I guess. me see if I can. This mat cap is making it hard. I can definitely tell that there's some issues here, but these these default mat caps just suck. I feel like I can see like a flat here and a flat here. Not sure what I can do to. So, I just realized that I have not been speaking a whole lot this stream, which is not going to be good for shorts, but unfortunately it is what it is. I'm more or less sometimes more talkative than other times, but okay. I think what we gotta do is bring this back. Yeah, look at that. Wow. That's that layer forge ones. Layer forge ones. Yeah. Here's another one. Um, let's go. All right. We had something funky's happening here. I don't know if it's let's see if we got something's acting a little funky here. Trying to figure out what we got going on here. Okay. Something's sculpting real funky on that right now. I'm not sure what exactly happened. What we'll do though is we'll throw we'll remesh this just to kind of it's like a remesh this at like 50,000 or something. See if that'll help alleviate the issue that we're having here. Yeah, layer forge ones. We're gonna need those. Some layer forge ones. So I'm pretty stoked that I changed the video format and now the shorts will focus really on the sculpting. So that'll be a good thing. Maybe the videos will perform better. So yeah, making small changes as we go along. Okay. So this still shouldn't stick out too much. So I'm trying to I feel like I keep pulling this away from the shoe, but it really shouldn't be. But because this is cartoony, I'll let it fly, but this rubber sole should not stick out as much as it currently does. But as you can see here, they look really massive. That's funny. But I think they're looking much more realistic, so that's always a good thing. And what I'm thinking here is I was really trying to live stream this whole process and not do any work off stream. It also helps to like kind of keep the schedule going. Like I'm not burnt out because I sculpted for like 6 hours in one day, but this is also isn't getting anything done. So at this point, I don't even know what to do. I definitely need to sculpt more, but I kind of been trying to live stream all the sculpting. And I've also been trying to keep a better like balance, work-life balance type thing, not overdoing it and then I'm like crashed out and burnt out and don't want to do any artwork and you're balancing that with work and this, that, and the other. I'm trying to keep a healthy balance. That's why I've been trying to focus 1 hour mandatory Monday through Friday of just sculpting. It doesn't mean I'm not working on other things as well. Like today, I scheduled a whole bunch of shorts to be published on all of our social media platforms. So those get pushed out to YouTube, Facebook, X, Snapchat. No, I'm sorry, Snapchat. Well, I don't even use Snapchat. TikTok. I don't even know why I said Snapchat. So Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and what we're missing, I actually got TikTok working today. What we're missing is we also need to be posting on our Instagram feed. So I gotta make sure I update that. And then the other thing is there is an option to select whether you're posting on Facebook or creating a reel on Facebook. So I'll have to look into seeing how I can get the software to do both, right? Because realistically, we want to target reels more than anything, not necessarily the posts, right? We want the algorithm to feed our content to users. Trying to make some adjustments here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's save what we have here. What I'm gonna do, we only have a little bit left to our stream. One thing that I feel like we can get out of the way fairly quickly is there is a raised rubber spot on the back of the sole. This is basically like where the logo goes, right? Is it All Star? Converse All Star logo? Something like this, right? Let me hide this body so I can look at behind the shoe much better. Okay. Yeah, because we rotated the shoe to match the leg, it's now in like a funky position. It's a little bit of a pain to work with, but oh, and I know we did something similar to this before, where we went in here and just added these edge loops close to the edge, which helps us maintain some definition. Okay, and we're gonna go into sculpt mode, which is, as you've probably put together, is kind of like my favorite way of creating 3D art is with the sculpting platform. As somebody that uses AutoCAD and 3D software all day long at work when I'm home, I don't think it's because it's the best way to do it. It's I don't want to I don't want to think so critically. I just want to kind of organically vibe with my creation, if that makes any sense. It's kind of more of a natural artistic flow, you know? It's like you're not trying to do something from a calculated perspective. You're just trying to like vibe with it. You know, it's less designer, more artist flow, if you will. Yeah, check it out. It's getting there. I'm actually liking this a lot better as we're kind of going through all the steps. We'll just accept that. I'm gonna go ahead and accept this, even though I feel like I shouldn't. But what I really wanted to do is I kind of wanted to. I thought I accepted that. I guess I didn't. Um, oh no, the foot's going through the floor. Alright, so first thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna go to our 3D cursor and set it to 0, 0, 0. And then we're going to set our origin to 3D cursor. And then we're gonna mirror that. And then we're going to look at what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply rotation. Alright, so apply rotation. There we go. Boom. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, so what I want to do here, um, I want to separate these by like the same part, just so that the matte cap colors show up correctly. So here, let's see if we can come down like that. Let's see here. Do we have any modifiers on anything? Alright, let's what is this? Yeah. Let's see if we can apply, let's scale. Alright. Okay, cool. Yeah, so now that we have all that done, we'll scale that down. What I'm gonna do is, I know we were briefly talking about this earlier today. What I'm gonna do here real quick is I'm gonna look at the units. We're gonna switch this to millimeters. Okay, and we're gonna scale this to the height that we want it. Um, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to make this figure 5 inches tall. So we should be at 125 millimeters, which as you can tell is very small. So let's scale it down to the size of that little cube. Okay, so now if we were to, oh, so let me see, we got a little bit of a, let me see here, I shrunk down way too much. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure what I did there. Let's just put, okay. Whenever I click off of this, it has difficulty finding the object. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, the whole premise of all this was to, A, let's see here. Okay, so now 111. Everything should be ones now here. As far as scale, rotation, location. So we have a little bit of a location translation. So let's hit A to all. Okay, so now everything should be zeroed out here, which it is. Okay, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Everything looks like it's been corrected in some capacity. And so we got our super bee, Pharaoh Bee, and it's coming along. It's definitely taking way longer than I thought to finish this, and I think it's just because um, as for the community, there's no timeline. At least in my opinion, there is no timeline, and I just want to get it done 100% like correct in the capacity that you got an art piece done by me, and I put all the time into it to make it perfect. Oh yeah, there's definitely some weirdness here. Yeah, I definitely don't like this like scroll lock on the origin. This is terrible. All right, so okay. I think we now have this corrected. I th Note to self, do not start a file and have your scale way out of whack. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure why we this. I don't know. Not sure why the scale started off so out of whack on this. Not sure if I imported stuff from another program and yeah, something's out of whack. However, it's fixed now. I have a feeling we'll end up doing this from scratch for a couple of different reasons. I'm not sure how much control we can have with what we're trying to accomplish here. Um, though what I was kind of envisioning in my head was that this would come out almost like a stamped look, and I'm not sure if I can get that look easy enough by just sculpting everything endlessly. I mean, I guess I could, but yeah, I know that when we were working on this, this was kind of a little troubling. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some issues here. I still don't know how I want this to look, but I'm positive that we will, at some point or another, figure it out. That's why I kind of pivoted to working on some of the other parts that could be easily tightened up. We'll probably have like another, I think we'll finish the shoe tomorrow. You know, we kind of got pretty close. I think I want to add like that one little stripe coming down the middle of the sole, add the laces, add the little circle, um, and the shoes are done, and then we'll move on to the paintbrush, the the cane, and I'm happy with everything, and then we'll go back to working on the face, you know? Just kind of pivot from one area to the other until we kind of gain some new perspective and try to finish up the face. All right, let's see here. We've been going for about an hour. Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. I hope you guys enjoyed today's the stream. Um, it kind of went past a little bit quicker than I thought, but that's a good thing because I want to go watch the new Game of Thrones episode for House of the Dragon. I'm a big fan, so I want to definitely go do that. So I'm going to give this a nice save, and that's where we're at here, folks. We're getting there. I keep saying we're going to get there, and then we don't get there, but this is for sure the final stretch. We're definitely getting there. All right, I'll give that the final save, and that's our stream for Monday night. Let's, yeah, make sure that you like, subscribe, and I know you guys have already been going crazy dropping comments. Oh yeah, I just I wanna look through the comment sections real quick. We got Shane in the house, we got AJ, we got Dixie. Yo, we got Green Lightning that popped in. We got all the homies. I appreciate you guys. Y'all keep me going. All right, guys. I'll that's tonight's stream, and we'll do another one tomorrow. All right. Bye.